Hey everybody, I'm Zach, and you're watching the Midnight Jamboree. So today I'm going to go through a video I've been wanting to do for a little bit of some of the things in my movie collection that are a little bit more rare potentially, or just a little different, or something that I just straight up love that I have. And I'm joined today by Firestone Walker's Adversus IPA, a delicious, delicious brew to accompany me on this wonderful journey of the weird and eclectic collection. Alright, so let's get started. So, I have two favorite movies in this world, The Fog and The Lost Boys. And for The Lost Boys, I have that on every single format that I know to currently exist. I have it on Blu-ray, DVD, VHS, Betamax, 8mm, and Laserdisc. And I also have it on video CD. Now, VCD, for those that don't know, was essentially around when Betamax and VHS was around, and it's a movie on a CD. It pretty much is exactly how it sounds. It is not something that's really commonplace, especially in America. It's more going to be one that you're going to see in the Asian markets and things like that. As far as I've kind of researched into this, it's not a format I'm 100% aware of, but I've never seen another copy of The Lost Boys on VCD. And it's kind of cool. It's just, it's a CD. I mean, you look at it, it's got even that kind of dual CD kind of thing to it. It's got that beautiful Lost Boys cover on it, disc 1 and disc 2. And I know it's dumb, but I just absolutely love this because you can put it on your shelf with all your CDs and everything, and it's really cool. I don't know, I mean, obviously my case is rather broken, but having never seen one before, I've really never kind of upgraded the case. But yeah, I don't know. It's different, it's interesting, it's out there. It's got that weird little emblem at the bottom. I assume that's a production company that does VCDs. I'm not 100% sure. But yes, I mean, 8mm, Betamax, VHS, all of them. And of course, the video CD, a long-lost format that like 5 other people know about. So my next thing is one that had been on my list of things that I wanted forever. I started collecting VHS tapes roughly 2009 or so. I mean, obviously before then you didn't really collect VHS tapes, you just bought movies. So then I kind of started to go back and collect things, and one I'd really wanted was this copy of Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, this is a 3D copy of this film, and that is astounding because at the time, obviously this of course did come out on VHS, but at the time we didn't have a copy of Creature from the Black Lagoon that wasn't 3D. Now the Blu-ray has an astounding 3D copy, or a print on there. And obviously this is obsolete because it's just in the red and blue, but it's just such a cool kind of thing. You know, unfortunately mine is a little bit worse for wear. As you can kind of see, I did buy this used. It was not one that I felt the need to spend hundreds of dollars on to get a brand new copy. But I don't know, it's so out there and cool. And I love it even says for best 3D effect at the bottom there. I'll read that for you. For best 3D effect, tune TVs to a network program and adjust to full color for normal skin tones. It's very important to have normal skin tones when you're watching 3D VHS. So I absolutely love this copy. It's probably one of my favorite VHSs that I have in my entire collection, and didn't cost an arm and a leg, thankfully, but then again, as you can see, mine's a little beat up, so that's kind of why. Another movie that they came out was It Came From Outer Space. Universal released that around the same time on 3D VHS. I haven't been able to find a cheap copy of that, but I did buy that Blu-ray, if you saw in an earlier video, to kind of tide me over. I don't know. And just look at the full color of this. It's just, you know, you put a sticker on there. Come on, people. Don't put stickers on things, but it's beautiful. My next thing is a copy of The Thing from Another World. And the cool thing about this one, no pun intended, on the first disc, it has the original black and white feature with a commentary by John Carpenter. And obviously you know who John Carpenter is and his relation to The Thing if you're watching this video, most likely. But to have the director of the remake of this film come in and do a commentary is fantastic, and it's not something that I've seen ported over to any DVD copy of this. I haven't seen it anywhere in the world, and I had to kind of track this down because every time I bought it, I asked, hey, does this have is this 2 discs in the set? And everyone was like, oh yeah, it's 2 discs. Every time I got the individual 1 disc, which was not what I wanted. And the individual 1 disc just has the disc 2, which is the digitally remastered black and white version. But on here, to have the old black and white, just standard version with the color version on there as well, and have John Carpenter do a commentary track, it's worth searching out. And Universal released this in the UK as opposed to Warner Brothers in the States, so they kind of did a better job. And like I said, I've yet to see that commentary track anywhere else. So hopefully whoever releases The Thing from Another World on Blu-ray, they put on that commentary track. All right, so my next kind of interesting thing is the Umbrella Entertainment JB Hi-Fi exclusive of Night of the Living Dead 1968 and Night of the Living Dead 1990. So it comes in a 2-pack, and I just love that. Just love everything about this set, kind of how it's split down the middle with the cast of the original here and the cast of the remake right here, and just kind of the color versus black and white. On the back as well, you can kind of see how does the special features listed on there. And the cool thing about this set is that the 1968 version from Umbrella had been out of print for a very long time, and they re-released it when they got the rights to the 1990 version. And in America, the 1990 version was released by Twilight Time, and as far as I know, it had a blue film and a tint to it, almost as blue as this Blu-ray case. And as far as I've seen from the screen grabs of that, it is terrible. So I'm happy to have a copy a little bit more kind of thoroughly thought out. And of course, this was a limited edition. They released the 1990 version pretty standardly, but the limited edition with the 1968 version was only 2,300, and I have 441. So that's pretty cool. And as you can see, disc 1 is the 1990 version with that beautiful cover on there. And then you have the 1968 version, which also has a beautiful cover on there. I'll take this out because it's kind of cool here. There's an alternate cover art for this, where it has the original 1968 version on here, and then the 1990 version just with the different kind of look to it, and it's an undead double feature. And the artwork is by Simon Sherry, and I know I've seen him do dozens of other things, so it's really nice to have that. I kind of prefer to have it on the flip side, so when I take out the discs I see it, because to me I don't really like kind of shielding that one to the back while that one's on the front, when that just looks so much nicer. So this is a set that I am very pleased to have gotten. I think Umbrella Entertainment does a lot of really cool stuff, especially their cover arts look great. So anytime they ever release a kind of a specialty thing, I'm always willing to import, especially because it's really not that expensive to order stuff from Australia. So the next movie that I have is one that's very near and dear to my heart. I saw it in theaters. I think it's a great movie. And the day that it came out on Blu-ray, I knew I had to run out and buy it. And that's Zombieland. So the thing about this copy of Zombieland is that it's the Nut Up or Shut Up edition, which was a Best Buy exclusive. I went to 3 different Best Buys and only found 1 copy of this, and as far as I'm aware, a lot of other people had worse luck than I did and weren't able to find this even remotely. Now, it only has 2 extra special features on there, but for me, that's more than enough, and I just love kind of the outline on there, and calling it the Nut Up or Shut Up edition is fantastic, because if you've seen the movie, that's a pretty big joke in there. So you have the standard Blu-ray on there, and then the old DVD digital copy discs. I'm very glad we did away with those. And then here's the kind of bonus disc on there with those features. And like I said, I've yet to see them kind of reprint this in any other country with those special features. It's pretty much almost landlocked to the US, so I'm glad I skipped school that day and went out and found it. Don't tell anybody, I still passed that class. So the next one is Ganze Hot. Now, if I butchered that name, I'm sorry, I do not speak German, but obviously you can tell from the cover, this is Goosebumps. One of the interesting things is that in Germany, they're very, very big on the SD on Blu-ray. And for what that means to common folk like me is, we're gonna put a lot of just standard definition episodes on a Blu-ray disc so we can pretty much fit an entire season on 1 to 2 discs. And that's what they did with Ganze Hand. They put the entire series of Goosebumps on 2 different discs. And they've re-released this since, but the fact that this is a book is exactly why I love this. I hate digibooks. I've hated them since they came out. I thought they served no purpose, even though that's the only way to get Citizen Kane and a bevy of other films. But this one just works, because obviously Goosebumps, they're based on books. Alright, so as you can see, inside disc 1 is the Werewolf Fever Swamp, and underneath that you can see kind of the really nice imagery on there. And the reason I love this set so much is that it doesn't kind of just get rid of the original Goosebumps art. If you go through and you kind of look throughout this booklet, you're going to see various bits of like say Cheese and Die, and there's Attack the Mutant and all of that good stuff, Haunted Mask, and just it really brings in the Goosebumps imagery from the books, which is so important. You know, werewolf skin there, and then under that, you have Bride of the Living Dummy. And I love this set because it's beautiful. The regular release in a keep case just will not be this nice, kind of with everything on there. I mean, obviously, since it's in German, I like it a little bit less, but not very much. The reason I kind of don't like it as much is shipping from Germany can kind of be a little bit of a pain. But I love the set. Ganze Hand. It's beautiful. And viewer beware, you're in for Ganze Hand. Alright, so the next thing I found is pretty cool. We're going big and old school with this, is the Halloween tree on Laserdisc. Now, the Halloween tree is probably one of my favorite things. I turn this on all the time, and it's just one of those things that if it's Saturday morning and I'm like, I don't have anything else to watch, I'm going to turn on the Halloween tree. So I'm probably one of like 2 people you know in this world that turns on this at any time of year and just watches it. And the Halloween tree has been released on DVD. It has come out in a couple different VHS copies, but the Laserdisc is very unique because it has a commentary from the late, great Ray Bradbury. And if you've seen the Halloween tree, you know that Ray Bradbury did commentary. Like he was the narrator for this, so to have him do a commentary track in addition to it is just fantastic. So, you know, it says, this exclusive presentation of the Halloween tree contains an audio commentary by its creator, Ray Bradbury. The commentary is the audio track 1. So, I don't know. I love that. I didn't know this existed, but I'm the kind of guy who eBays Halloween Laserdisc at least once every other week. So, it was kind of cool to see this. I've seen it a couple times since then, but I love the fact that this set exists and that Ray Bradbury has a commentary track for one of my favorite stories of his. So, I wish they would release a deluxe DVD of this, but since it's with Warner Brothers, that will never happen. But it's good to know that it exists in some way, shape, or form. So last but not least, I have the beautiful Elite copy of A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is a 2-disc set, as you can see on there. It's a special collector's edition. And if you don't love this for the sheer fact of how it looks, you got something wrong with you. I mean, you obviously got the Clint Eastwood looking Freddy Krueger on the front there, and that's pretty good. I like it, but you open it up and it's also beautiful on the inside. I wish more Laserdiscs had been 2 discs like this to kind of get that inner flap artwork. I mean, obviously quite a few were, but some just didn't get the kind of star treatment that I feel they get nowadays. So this is essentially like if Scream Factory were to release a really nice Laserdisc, it would look like this. So the reason that this is great is all of the special features that come in on disc 2 for everything on here. So, I mean, I can go through all the deleted scenes, alternate endings, everything else like this, but it's fantastic to kind of know exactly everything about Nightmare on Elm Street, because Warner Brothers, I know this is my second time harping on them in a very short amount of time, they do not respect their movies nearly as well as other people would. So A Nightmare on Elm Street, that series will never get anything astounding past Never Sleep Again or documentaries that have absolutely no legal right to kind of dig in and search and to be attached to the film itself. So I love that things like this still exist because these are the definitive copies of these movies, and it's unfortunate that this came out, gosh, when did this come out? 1993? Or 1996. So it has been 21 years since there has been a definitive release of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And that's just a travesty. So I appreciate that this exists, and Elite was great at the time, and they just did so many good things. So, you know, obviously I'm not going to take out the Laserdisc to show you. We all know what Laserdiscs look like, but this is one of my favorite things, and this goes for a pretty penny. I was pretty lucky to get in on an auction that wasn't that expensive, but one of my prized possessions here. All right, so that's going to be it for this edition of kind of weird and random movies that I have in my collection. Obviously, there are quite a few more, so don't be surprised if you see another one of these videos popping up. But for the time being, of course, don't forget to subscribe to us below and hit that notification bell and follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, kind of everything and anything. So, of course, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'm Zach. You've been watching the Midnight Jamboree. Bye, guys. James Gunn, you're not the only one who can do a credits scene. Here we go. So, Ganze hat corrects to Luxembourgish, but I don't believe that it is Luxembourgish. So I'm going to go with it's German, and it does translate to Goosebumps, and it asks if I meant Ganze hat. So I did mean that. So let's see what exactly that translates to.
Gänsehaut.
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 Get out.
Gänsehaut. Yeah, it does sound like get out. Gänsehaut.
Is that what happens
Gänsehaut.
in Amityville in
That is
Germany?
what happens in Amityville. They were just saying Gänsehaut. Goosebumps. Goosebumps. Are we scaring you? Goosebumps.
Read up well, you're in for a
Gänsehaut.
scare.
Gänsehaut.
Gänsehaut.
Gänsehaut. Gänsehaut.
Gänsehaut.
Gänsehaut. Gänsehaut.
Gänsehaut.
Gänsehaut.
Gänsehaut.
It's almost like a redub. I want someone to do a remix of this. Gänsehaut.
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 Gänsehaut.